Welcome to this random kitchen in my actual home this week. I am Brittany Bass, a full-time passenger seat princess and operations manager of Matt Becker Fishing. For those of you who don't know me yet, I am also Matt Becker's girlfriend. He is a professional bass fisherman on the Bass Pro Tour with Major League Fishing, and the reason why I am typically in random kitchens, obviously this week we're at my house, so we are in our full swing, or in the full swing of our second year on this tour. So with this channel and podcast, I plan to bring some of the best wives, fiancés, and girlfriends on to talk about their lives, their families, their superstitions, because we got them too, so that you can see and hear all the behind the scenes goodness that goes into making a tournament season possible and great. So this is episode 15 of Random Kitchens. All right. Welcome back, everybody. So like I said, we are actually sitting in my actual kitchen this week, which means we are home. So that is super, super exciting. We got roughly a week and some change at home before we need to leave again. So in between the Lake Eufaula tournament that we just had last week and the Heavy Hitters tournament, which we qualified for last year. And that is actually in Florida. So two very different areas, but home is in the middle, and we're very, very excited about that. So absolutely crazy what happened last week. Obviously, you guys get to meet the misses of the Burge family. And then they went on to win the tournament and got their first national win, which is awesome for Zach and the family. First national win of his career. So that is huge. It is so exciting, so amazing. I'm glad that I got to be there for the beginning part of it to celebrate just them and seeing her again. But then obviously they got the win. So that was super, super awesome. So congratulations again to the Burge family. We are very, very excited for you guys. So today is a little bit different, one, because I am at home, and two, I am not introducing a new wife or girlfriend or fiance this week, but I'm going back and introducing their men. So y'all know I've been adding in some family pictures at the beginning of the most recent episodes, just so you guys can kind of connect with who the angler is and then who the family is with that angler. So kind of a picture from what they look like when they're fishing on live and then what they look like with the family. It was a suggestion by a listener and I really, really love it. But I wanted to go back through the first roughly 8 guests that didn't get their family photos posted, and kind of talk through some of those pictures, but also give you some updates and some little random stories that have happened since they've been on the show, or things that we've done since we've had them on. So I'm going to go back through and share some stories that way. But welcome to my kitchen this week. Thank you guys for being here. So like I said, I'm going to introduce them with pictures and some videos that some ladies have sent for this reason. So if you're listening on the podcast platforms, I'm going to be talking along with the pictures. But if you want to see them, come on over to the YouTube channel. They'll be on the full YouTube video. So you can see them that way. But little side note there, I am super pumped. We are on all podcast platforms as of sometime last week. So if you want to actually listen and you're driving or doing something like that, you can find us everywhere. So like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Samsung, all the things, iHeartRadio, I mean literally everywhere. So super excited about that. And then obviously the video of every podcast will be on the YouTube channel. So if you want to see them while we're talking, be a part of the kitchen, just come on over to the YouTube channel and you'll see it there. So very, very exciting. So before we jump into the men, I'll just give you guys a little rundown of what we have been doing on our week off, because I would have really liked to come home and relax, but if you know anything about Mr. Matt, he does not sit down ever. We are always doing a project, which is probably good for my health in some, area. But so typically our off weeks, we get a lot done that we really, if we were home all the time, it wouldn't feel, as much in a singular week. But this week we had oil changes and vehicle reboots, we needed an air filter in the truck and that kind of stuff, and our HVAC checked for the summer, doctor's appointments, and then on top of that, he thought it would be a really good idea to order 3,000 square foot of sod. Yeah, sod to be delivered this week, and so that we can put it in before we leave for Florida. I don't know. I truly don't know, what goes on inside of his head. However, I do love that he does this because it looks so good after we're done. But I swear, I feel so bad for professional sodders. I mean, they probably have better equipment than us. We've just been, lifting it. But I am so sore. It is crazy. But it looks so good. So just background on that. Our house, we bought it after an investor built it. So it didn't come with any landscaping. It was literally just the house. And so we've been doing all of the landscaping ourselves, which is awesome because we can make it what we want. But our nemesis has been the clay that we live on somehow. In Tennessee, it is very, very orange clay. So we've tried grass seed. We tried doing the whole shebang, adding topsoil, grass seed, all the things. It does not like the clay. So we found out that Bermuda sod, so Bermuda grass, basically grows in anything. And this is our last resort. If this does not work, we will happily become rock yard people, and we're just going to dump rocks in the yard so that hopefully the orange clay goes away. But other than that, this is our last resort. So it looks really, really good. We got about, I would say, a quarter to a half laid yesterday. It got delivered at around 3, but we had to prep the yard with topsoil and compost and all that beforehand. And so hopefully we'll get basically the third of it done, and we'll just have one little bit that we might need to do afterward. But if you know anything about sod, you have to lay it within 24 hours, generally speaking, of it getting delivered. So we are in a time crunch. So yay for that. So we're working on that this week. So I hope you guys have been having a great week. Hopefully a little bit more restful or relaxing than this week for us. But let me know in the comments if you're doing anything fun, or if you're working in the yard like us. We will be kin with that if you are. So we have to do all this. Obviously, we're getting packed for Florida as well. We leave again Monday morning, probably at 3 or 4 to get through Atlanta. But all that being said, it's been a great week. We're very excited to be home. We're always excited to be home. And that leads me into what we're doing this week. So, in this Meet the Men episode, we're going to kind of start from the beginning. So go back to our very first episode with our very first guest, Anna Cooper. Y'all got to meet her at our first Bass Pro Tour event this year, which was at Toledo Bend and near her hometown. And we got a little special guest, Miss Stormy Grace, who was also on that show with us. So Justin is her husband, and it is his rookie year on the Bass Pro Tour. And luckily, Anna and Stormy have actually been able to travel with him to most of the events this year, which she wasn't sure if that was going to be able to happen, what was happening with that. So I am very excited to tell you guys it has been happening. She is obviously making it work, but fabulously so. Stormy actually took her longest trip ever. Kind of right after that, they went to Sandy Cooper Lakes, which is in South Carolina. So they drove from Toledo Bend or Louisiana all the way across to there. And she did great. It took a little longer, obviously, than if it was just her and Justin, but they kind of made, a full trip out of it. And that was awesome. They were able to do a little family vacation day in Charleston. So I was super glad that they made it there and that was successful, because the next longest trip will be when we go up to the top of New York to Messina when we're at the St. Lawrence. She is going to try to bring Stormy up there. So that will be very, very long, in a couple of days. But because of how well the South Carolina one she thinks this one will go swimmingly as well. So super excited about that. And then my favorite of all their pictures, obviously you probably can guess, is the Easter picture, because Stormy is absolutely grinning in it. But I had to show you this next little video. This is their gender reveal, and I thought it was so cute and so creative. I've seen a couple of different variations of this since them, but really theirs was the first that I saw do this, and I thought it was so cute. So this is their little gender reveal clip.
Okay. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Isn't it adorable? I just love them. So like I said, Anna was my first guest interview ever, and actually I told her about it and why I wanted to do it, and my whole plan, had her come over, film it. I had it edited before I told literally anyone else what I was doing. After all of that, I picked up Matt from the water, and I was like grinning ear to ear, and he's like, what on earth did you get into today? And I was like, I'm starting a podcast. So she knew before anyone. She also was the first guest, and I am forever grateful that she also was like, ooh, that's such a good idea. I'm so excited to be on, because obviously we are in episode 15. So pretty crazy, and it's been a wonderful ride. So go back, check out her episode if you haven't already, and meet her. She is the cutest ever. So next up, we have our wonderful full-time RV traveling wife, Miranda Cortiana. So she is from our second episode, and Kyle Cortiana is her husband. They fish the MLF Invitationals, and actually when this airs, he will be fishing at the other Lake Eufaula, right? How on earth can there be two Lake Eufaulas? But one was in Oklahoma, that's where we were, and their tournament is actually in Alabama. So some of the Bass Pro Tour guys are also fishing that, but Kyle is definitely fishing that. So tune in to MLF.com and see how he's doing, root them on, and cheer for them this week. So when we were interviewing Miranda, we also had her little guest, puppy baby Marshall, with us. So you'll remember this cute little face in some of her pictures. But you might not know that Minnie Marsh actually became a centerfold this year. So in our most recent MLF Bass magazine, the Cortiana family was the centerfold, with little Marshall's little tiny orange rain booties. They're the cutest things ever, and he was just looking so dapper. So this is him as a centerfold. I'm super pumped. Super pumped for them. And then also, if you watched her episode, you know that she started a quilting business with her mom, Wildflower Quilting. My quilt literally goes everywhere with me, so go check them out. It is truly amazing work, and I absolutely love them. So Missy Myers was our next guest for episode 4 in South Carolina, when we were at Sandy Cooper Lakes. And Britt Myers is her husband, and he has fished the Bass Pro Tour since it began, and then fished prior to that, obviously. And they have 2 boys, and also own a very successful body shop out that way. We talked a little bit about this, but Britt actually has like 2 loves in his life, and it's cars and fishing. And it is really cool because their boys are split that way as well with their interests. So Carson works at the shop and absolutely loves cars, while Britt Jr. fishes, and he actually fishes with Major League Fishing on the Invitational circuit and has loved that. So he's working to qualify for the Bass Pro Tour. So I thought it was so cool that it is his 2 loves that came out in their 2 boys that they created together. I thought it was beautiful. And kind of in the middle of from that happening to now, I got to see Missy again. We just had a Pro-Am sponsor event that was out in Oklahoma, so it was right before the Lake Eufaula tournament. So we had some sponsors come out and they get to fish with the pros, and it's awesome. It's such a fun event every single year. So this one, they went out on Lake Texoma, and they had a couple of other little bodies of water that they could have gone out on too. But it was awesome. So I got to see her and obviously some of the other wives. We got to do a spa day, hang out. Like, it was just so nice. They did it at a casino, the Choctaw Casino in Durant. So it was just super fun. I love that event every year. But I was super glad that I got to see her out there as well. So our next man to meet is Katie Ottinger's boyfriend. This is Dylan Hayes. So he's been fishing the Bass Pro Tour the last 3 years, and Katie's been traveling with him pretty much full time for, I believe, the last 2 years. It might be 2.5. And then they just had their little baby girl, Cameron, and while you didn't get to see her in the episode because Kristen was holding her while we were doing the episode, you did get to meet the very nice man fixing their electric at their Airbnb, because we kept having some sparks and things go in and out while we were filming, and they were in a wooden house. So we had that very nice man come out to check all that while we were there. But Cameron, like I said, is their newest baby girl in their family. They have a beautiful blended family with Dylan's 2 girls, Harbor and Henley, which means he is severely outnumbered in that household, and fabulous. Definitely deserved so. He is a great girl. I was about to say girl mom. He's a great girl dad. And just some news in the family, so you guys know as well. Unfortunately, Miss Marla, that we talked about in the episode, her beautiful cat, she passed away after 15 years of loving life, which is a very, very long life and beautiful life for a cat. But it has, obviously, Marla's been with Katie forever. I think since she was like 17 years old. So that was a huge loss to the family, and I just want you guys to know that, just so if you know her, you can reach out and just give her some love. But Mr. Fisher, their pup, is still as playful as ever, and I also just saw somehow that someone's pet bunny rabbit ended up in their yard. So if you're looking for a bunny and you're out in Arkansas area, or you just want to meet Snow White, Katie herself, call up Katie, because all animals know that her home is loving and safe and that she's going to take care of them, because they always end up there. But if you're in the market for a bunny, I think they are trying to rehome him. So next up, we have our Dirty Dancing Contest winning couple and extraordinaire, Iris Robinson's family. So Marty Robinson is her husband, and he fishes the Bass Pro Tour, as you all might have heard on that episode. She also has 2 boys fishing, so 3 boys technically fishing. Marshall is her oldest, and he qualified for the Bass Pro Tour this year, so it's his rookie season on the Bass Pro Tour. And then her youngest, Mitchell, he is fishing the MLF Invitationals this year, trying to qualify for the Bass Pro Tour. So super, super exciting. She's running, a million miles a minute. They also have a plumbing business back home, so the boys work there as well. So their off season is really not off either, but I loved getting to meet her and interview her, and I loved that their family had so many interests and things in common, obviously, with where they work, what they love to do, and how they like to spend time. But my all-time favorite part of this family and thing that they have in common is they all love to dance. So you guys might have gotten to see Marty dance on the classic stage, or maybe even on some live footage. But if you didn't, here's some photos of when Iris and Marty won the Dirty Dancing Contest. She sent me these after we did our episode, and I think they're beautiful. Like, I love these images. I'm so glad that someone took them. They're absolutely crushing it. And they just look so in tune with each other, which I absolutely love. So they are so fun. If you haven't gotten to listen to her episode and meet her, I highly recommend it. It's a good one. It's so fun. So, episode 7 was with the lovely Mrs. Cara Avina, and after their naps, we also got to meet Miss Charlotte and Mr. Carson Avina. So, Adrian Avina is Cara's husband and has been fishing the Bass Pro Tour since the beginning as well. They live in New Jersey, which is so crazy because it is so far from most tournaments, and have a couple of businesses there that she helps run. So I 100% give her all the props anytime their entire family comes to an event, because I know it's a process and just takes a ton of work and thought. So she is wildly creative as a human. Which you can see by Charlotte's birthday party in these pictures with the theme and the outfits. One of the cutest ideas that I have seen her do, in that she had sent me pictures, that was when she was still pregnant with Carson. For Halloween, the whole family was Toy Story theme, which is adorable in itself, but her and Adrian were Mr. and Miss Potato Head out of there, and obviously her cute little pregnant belly was Mrs. Potato Head's face, and it was so cute. And then obviously Charlotte was Jessie with her cute little outfit and her little cowgirl hat, and then their dogs were Buzz and T-Rex, which, I mean, I could not. It was so cute. They were so cute. So check out this episode to see, or her episode, to see their beautiful family and learn a little bit more about them. Next up, we have Kristen Shuffield's family. So Spencer Shuffield is her husband, and they are in their second year on the Bass Pro Tour. So like us, you guys know we traveled together with them, Matt Steffen and Drew Gill. And they are so much fun. We love them. They have a beautiful family with 3 kids and a very large weenie dog named Jasper, who we got to meet and I'm in love with. He is so cute. So look at his cute little self at this clip. I cannot believe the amount of stuff that she's able to manage and keep it all together. Their village is huge and wonderful, but she absolutely kills it keeping their life running and on the track. So not only does she travel and do Spencer's media, she is also an ORRN, so works in the OR. She is a mama to 3 that are in sports, actively in sports, which is crazy in itself. So as a family, their time out, vacation time is much deserved, and they are a cruise loving family. That is their go-to vacation, and I think she 100% deserves every single one of them that they are able to take. So last but not least, and this is definitely on me, because Maggie's episode, so last but not least is Maggie Sporer's family. And Maggie's episode was supposed to have the pictures in it, and I actually had to upload it twice. Because the first one didn't have the pictures. Second one did have the pictures. Got it fully uploaded, and then I went to delete the wrong one, and I deleted the right one. So the wrong one ended up posting, which is totally fine. I just went a little bit crazy after I was so upset at myself. But because of that, I will show you the pictures now. So Gerald Sporer is her husband, and he obviously fishes the Bass Pro Tour and had been fishing prior to that as well. They also do a ton of offshore fishing, which is awesome. So they're based out of Louisiana and can kind of go out of there into that Gulf area, which is so cool. But during her episode, you guys got to meet their new baby, and at the time, it was the newest baby to the MLF family. Since then, the Connells actually had their son, which was crazy. It was 2 days after that episode. So Blaze is the Sporer's son. He is very cute, and I can tell you, he is doubling in size. It is so wild how quickly babies, grow. But this is their little family, and I was so excited to have her on. I was excited. You guys got to see him on when he was still such a tiny little squish. So if you haven't watched her episode, go back and watch it. Get to meet little Blaze when he's super, super tiny. And if you have any questions or any comments or want to know anything more, see anything else, please let me know. I just wanted you guys to have the opportunity to see all of the pictures that should have been in there originally, but I definitely didn't think it through far enough in advance. So thank you so much to the listener, Karen, who actually suggested that. It is awesome, and I am forever grateful because I think it's such a good ad. So I loved this idea, and we'll be adding some family photos in at the beginning of all of the future episodes. So everyone from Maggie on, and then Bella prior to Maggie did have photos added. So everyone, I think, has photos now. But hopefully I'll be able to come back and do episodes like this, just trying to like keep everyone up to date on what the family is doing. I think that would be a fun idea, along with giving you guys, some OG pictures during their episodes. So many fun things. But I love that I get to share this. So that is our show this week. I know it's a little different, but I am glad you guys got to meet the men behind the women that you met. So if you guys want to follow along on any of their fishing journeys, most of them, their Instagram tag is just going to be the fisherman's first and last name with probably fishing behind it. And if you have trouble finding anyone, just comment it below and I'll send it right over. Obviously, you guys know we now have an Instagram account. So Random Kitchens Podcast is the Instagram account. We are on all podcasting platforms. Super, super pumped about that. And obviously YouTube if you guys want to watch the videos. We are also on the YouTube podcast area as well. So if you want to listen there, you can. But I love all of these women. I love the women behind Professional Bass Fishing, and I can't wait to keep sharing their stories and perspectives with you guys. I think it's super important to hear that side of the industry, and I need to figure out how to get some of the wives that aren't able to travel on here as well. So I think I might do some episodes that are through the screen, so not necessarily in the kitchen, but basically their kitchen and my kitchen. So I'll be figuring that out as we go along as well. I'm super pumped about that. But I do release one episode every week, typically on Thursdays throughout the tournament season, and plan to do so through the end of the year. So make sure you subscribe and follow along and leave me any likes and comments. They are greatly appreciated. So I will talk to you guys next week. Thanks for joining.